The name of this video is called How to Seduce Girls with the Guitar. And the riff I played for you is one I wrote myself, and I wrote it a while ago, probably 3 to 6 months as I was into playing guitar. I've been playing for about a year now, and I find it to be just an incredibly complimented lick that I play, whether for my family or for friends. People just think it's really cool, you know? And so that got me thinking about music production and music at large, and why people actually do it. And I have a few thoughts about that. So the title, right, is about, I think, a lower kind of form of playing music, where you're doing music just for fame and the rewards it gives you, right? If you clicked on this video and you want to learn how to play the guitar to seduce women, go ahead and do that, but be clear with your intentions and know that you're kind of putting down music to a place in which it should be higher, right? Schopenhauer, a German philosopher, described Beethoven's symphonies as being the same coin, just two different sides of nature itself. Meaning that Beethoven, when he wrote the symphonies, they were so intimate and contained so much emotion in them that you're getting at something so innate to life that it's almost like nature itself. And the reason why I think that that's profound is that Beethoven was not doing it to impress anyone. He almost, as some people would put it, let God come through his hands to write these symphonies. I'm not calling to every person to be a piano writer or write sheet music to write concertos, but I think that ultimately we're losing a part of Beethoven's essence in how Schopenhauer described it. It's fine to some degree, not in my opinion, not how I do it, but it's fine to some degree to want to gain attention from music, right? But I see so many people wanting to do music for this reason. They'll look up a how to make a DaBaby type beat, right? Make the DaBaby type beat, and it's based, there's no art intention in it, there's no art in it at all. Make an identical beat to, some other guy on YouTube, some other tutorial, and call it a day and be satisfied. But I think that it's our jobs as musicians, true musicians, really, to try to get at something deeper, Decide for yourself which path are you going to take. Are you going to take the path that is imitation, or are you going to create your own authentic music yourself? And so that guitar riff, is easy to play and gives you a lot of reward. And when I tell people I wrote it myself, they get usually blown away, right? And the guitar is right there at most people's place that you go to, if they're a musician, and you can just play it and bang it out, and everyone thinks it's super cool. But the delusion, to some degree, is that the artistic power that goes into it is kind of low. Because if you play the guitar, you will know that I'm just imitating Metallica, and nothing else matters to some degree by playing that. I'll get into that later. But it's not, I didn't put a lot of effort into that. More so, it just happens to be one thing I wrote that seems very complicated, when in reality, you, having not picked up a guitar in 2 or 3 weeks, or having never picked up a guitar, could learn it in 2 to 3 weeks. But ultimately, with all of this music, right, you can create something that speaks truthfully to something that nothing language can get at. So as I see it, you shouldn't be going down to your computer, looking up a tutorial, and just mindlessly follow along to it. You should open up FL Studio, or go to the piano, or go to the guitar, and just try to let it flow out of you without using any thinking to change the path or say, oh, I want to sound like this or I want to sound like that. The true nature of music flows freely, and very freely, unlike anything else. It is truly an uncorruptible art form. And with that being said, I want to talk about one artist who's incredibly talented, and many of you, I'm sure, in the music production community know, and that's Simon Servita. Now, Simon is a incredibly talented artist, but in one of his recent videos, I was a little bit sad because he was, and this came out 3 or 4 days ago, depending on when this was released, probably a week or 2 ago, right? Where he's he's making a soul sample to send off to other people, right? And he's trying to imitate older sounds so that people can take them and use them in their beats so that they can create a whole song. But the sad thing is that they sound like real songs. And if he wasn't inframed in the trap music scene, they could be, quality songs on their own if he put a little lyrics on them or got an artist to go on them separately, right? And I'm talking outside of hip-hop, outside of trap, outside of everything. And so to some degree, he's limited. He's limited himself. But I'm not so quick about that with Simon Servita, because Simon Servita, I'm sure, is probably 8 to 10 years older than me. No, 6 to 8 years older than me. 4 to 8 years older than me. And he's come to a strict passing, right? Where he's realizing the normal music, Beethoven's symphonies, they don't get paid anymore. You could write a great symphony to the level at which Schopenhauer describes, but no one would really care. And so it's the irony of this time that you have to disguise an original piece of music as something to be sampled so that it can go into another song. And that to me is depressing and sad to some degree. And I just hope for you guys watching this video that you choose the path you want to go down. Know that it's not all about fame and these types of things. Yes, you have to put food on the table, but know that the most important thing is that you don't subjugate and you don't get rid of your artistic authenticity, because that's ultimately the most important thing for an artist to use, in my opinion at least. Making art, making music of any kind, any art, it lets you in to something that is undescribable, right? And some people will never feel that, even though they call themselves artists, because they're constantly trying to think about, how can I make the next hit song? How can I make the next Pop Smoke single? How can I make the next huge TikTok song, right? Ultimately, these are negative for the artistic cycle and the artistic creation. Go down one day, just sit down with your FL Studio, your Ableton, your guitar, your whatever, and just try to let it flow free out of you. Don't hold yourself in one specific genre, because you're limiting yourself. Alright, that's it for this one. Thank you. And really quickly, for those that came because they want to seduce women, I will show you how you do this. So there's the Metallica song, right? Very famous, a great classic for the acoustic guitar. Now, so if you take those same chord structures, right? This open E, and you just kind of play scales on this, so these notes. You can just go crazy. So yeah, it's quite easy, and you can go crazy with it. Just get this finger pattern down. And you can go crazy. People love it. Yeah, good luck seducing those women.